Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am the one and true and living legend, Honcho J23 of Independent Sane Podcast. I want to take this opportunity right now to thank you guys for joining me on this afternoon. We got a really dope show, a really dope guest in the building. I'm so glad to be back with you guys once again. I know it's been some time since I've come up here and I've just, shared some knowledge or some wisdom with y'all, along with my guests. But like I said, I'm not going to continue to hold you guys up because I do have another one today, another dope one today. We about to get into some real deep knowledge, y'all. You know, y'all hear what I'm talking about? We about to get into some real deep shit, some real deep knowledge. I have the pleasure of talking with one of the coolest dudes out here in the Carolinas, man, making his own path, making his own way. He speaks his mind. He says what he means what he say. I've seen him at concerts and festivals, things of that nature. But I'm talking about none other than the homie Prince Devon. If you guys know who Prince Devon is, y'all already know what type of time this is. Y'all already know what type of show this is about to be. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get my mans in here. We're gonna chop it up. What's good, West Side? I'm gonna get my mans in here. We're gonna chop it up, man. And like I said, I definitely hope that you guys are ready because it is about to go down. You hear me? It's about to go down. It's about to be real. And hope that you guys are tuned in for the ride. Hope you guys buckle your seatbelts, have your pens, have your paper out, have your notebooks out, because it's about to get real up in here. It's about to get real 100 up in here. You feel me? So, with that being said, once again, I am thankful and always grateful to have my guests tap in with me and tune in with me. But with that being said, my man's in the building. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show for the first time ever live on Independent Sane Podcast with yours truly, the one and only Prince Devon. Let's get it. Yo, what's going on, bro?
Yes, sir. Peace and love, family. What's up with it?
What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, bro. I woke up. The rest is on me. So, doing good, man.
Definitely. Well, as you can see, man, I'm definitely super excited, man, to finally have a chance to finally chop it up with you, man. You're always a man on a mission, always, doing your thing out there. I be watching you, I be seeing you, man. So I'm so stoked right now to have you up here. So I definitely want to appreciate you, man, and say thank you in advance, man, for all the knowledge that you are about to drop on us, man. I'm telling you, with the world we live in right now, we need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Well,
sir.
Well, with that being said, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to all these fine people, and then we're going to jump right into it.
All right, truly, man. Peace and love to everybody. Peace and love to everybody that's tuned in right now. I'm Prince Devon. I'm a guy of, I guess I'll say, with a high connection with oneness. I'm a music artist from out of Durham, North Carolina. I'm from Virginia, but I live in Durham, North Carolina. I'm an active Moor, so I'm pushing a certain message to get people in tune, man, and that's just me, man. I'm a family man. That's just basically it, man. Like I'm just a reflection of everybody else, man, vibrating on my own frequency,
Most definitely, man. Well, again, it's always a pleasure and an honor to have you, man. So we just gonna jump right into it, man. So music. Where did it all start for you, and how did you get into the business, man, of this music?
Oh man, so music to me was kind of like always a part of my life. It was always a part of my life, especially when I was young, because I came from a musically inclined family. And my father sang, my mother sang, my uncles and aunties had a gospel group. I was always around it and sung around them, and then I got into it myself, and it was more of a personal thing for me. It was more of a personal drive. Like I wasn't telling people like I know how to rap or I know how to sing. I was kind of just scoping the scene, man. And then this is funny, man. Is I end up going to my bus stop one time, and I'm in the elementary school, and this guy from middle school ended up battling me. I didn't know we was battling. I didn't know I wasn't hip, and he kind of pulled something out of me that happened naturally. And from that day forward, I was like, okay, I can't just do this. People was amazed at that, and I'm like, man, I don't even just do this. I can bust the cap off right here.
Right.
Like I can make music. I can write. I can read music. So it just opened the door from that, man. I was around it with my family, and by the time I was in sixth grade, man, I was active with music.
Okay. Okay. So you officially, man, like start taking music serious and really taking this thing full-fledged serious. Like, when did you decide to finally put the commitment in and really exceed the expectation of what your true calling is?
Oh man, so when I got in the eighth grade, when I was in the eighth grade, I ran into a couple of guys. They were called Borderline Records, and they was from a spot called Danville, Virginia, and they had connections with Carolina. And they had the guy had heard of me, and he was dealing with a track team. He was coaching a track team that I was on.
Okay.
As a sub, man, and he had a label.
Okay.
And I didn't know that they was thriving the way that they was thriving. They was dealing with celebrities and stuff then. It was just a minor label.
Right.
And he pulled me to the side, man. And I was, like I said, I was in middle school. So he pulling me to the side and was saying like, hey, man, I know I got my own artist, but I feel like you could do this and that much more, and plus help them.
Right.
And for me to hear that at a young age, like I said, middle school, I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, bet. The next thing you know, I was doing shows. So I had my first legit show. I was in seventh grade, and I had a song out in South Boston, Virginia, called the Bailey Convention, which was based off my last name, but I was calling myself Bailey Boy. And that was the first time, man. Seventh grade, I was the only person in my school that was on a label, that was actually doing music, that was in videos, that was meeting celebrities, and that was in seventh grade, in Virginia.
Okay. All right, so let me ask you this, man, because I like to call you the man of mystery, man. You're a man of many things, man. So, what is it about your life and you as a person and everything that you do? What makes you so committed and grounded to what you do all so well?
Because I know it's true, and I know, and I say that in this aspect. I know that the truth can't be told in words. It's something that has to be realized. And through my own life, I've realized how important certain things are to my life and to others' life in general. Even if someone is not aware, they may not know how important it is. But for me, I knew that I was connected to a source that nobody has an answer for.
Okay.
Nobody has an answer for. And I chose to stay close to that, man. I chose to stay close to that in everything I do, whether it's music, whether it's boxing, whether it's kicking the knowledge out of the Moore Science Temple. It didn't matter. I just knew I was connected to a source, and I love that source so much. I'm so grateful for that source that I'd be a fool to disrespect it or neglect what it has brought me. So I stay close to it, man, and it keeps that discipline. It keeps my discipline at bay. It keeps my discipline on point, and my drive to not only encourage myself and stay on it, but to encourage others to do the same thing in whatever walk of life they're in,
Okay. So real quick, we gotta address and we gotta talk about the name Prince Devon. I mean, talk to us about where that originated from, and how did you come up with the name Prince Devon? Where did that come from?
So listen, man, a lot of people think that the name Prince Devon, I'm gonna get stationary in a second, man. I'm making my son something to eat. But a lot of people think when they see the name Prince, they think like, oh man, he's a prince, which I like. I like when people do that. I like that type of love. However, my name stands for divine principles. It's not for like an actual prince of a king, because we're all this, we're all that. However, all of us don't follow divine principles. And beyond all things that's in my life, number one for me is to follow divine order, to follow divine laws. And to understand that I am a divine being first before anything else. So Divine Principles is how I set on that name. I started having knowledge of self, man. I was building with organizations like the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths. You know, I was around a lot of my brothers that's in the Nation of Islam. And, you know, they even thought the same thing, like, oh, Prince, you talking like royalty? But I will also then come back with, no, I'm talking about the divine principles. You know what I mean? Being one with everything. So that's what my name stands for.
Okay. Okay. So real quick, switching gears real quick. I'm going to be switching gears quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool, brother.
Real quick, talk us a little bit about your growing up, man. What was growing up like for you as a kid?
Oh, shoot. Man. I grew up like I was from Virginia, but the main place that I'm about to talk about right now is South Boston, Virginia, man. It's a small little town city. And I grew up in the worst area there. The worst area in that region. And it's called West Side, man, trailer park. And no single mother home, mom trying to get it. Father wasn't there. Father wasn't really anything, but he did the best he could with what he had. And you know, I was in the house helping raise my brothers. I got multiple siblings, but under my mom, I had it's 3 boys. So I helped take care of them. You know, I had to fight a lot. Coming up, man, because I was different and because I had so many talents. It would cause a lot of jealousy in that environment. And I made the best of it, man. If you ask me, I made the best of it. I had some great experiences, but it was just a great example of what making the best out of poverty. Because I feel like where I grew up and me coming up was full of poverty, but more than that, the love was there for some reason. Like I just had a strong family. I had you know, I had a strong system, a strong connection of people. And I also during my life in that time, man, as hard as it was, for some reason I was the one that had to carry so much weight. I had to carry a lot of other people's weight. And that kind of blocked me from knowing a lot of stuff that I know today, because a lot of my time was based off survival, trying to survive. And you know, just trying to see why other people couldn't quite understand what was going on, trying to make people understand, which I found out is pointless now. You know, I don't do that now. I don't go out to be understood. I know it's about understanding myself. But where I grew up, a lot of people has this, you know, it's a very closed-minded mentality because of the poverty and the type of things that we had to go through. And I grew up in a poor neighborhood, bro. A poor neighborhood where some people that I know today wouldn't even be able to walk around, or they just wouldn't want to walk around because they know what it's like.
Right.
It was one of those situations growing up, man. But I had love around me, though. That's what got me through.
Most definitely. Okay. So real quick, I want to kind of go back. I want to kind of piggyback a little bit, going back into your business, because, you know, and I ask my guests this all the time, especially artists. You know, whenever you're putting out any type of form of music or song or album or EP, however you want to look at it, what is your main focus like? What is your main goal and your main message in your music that you want the people to gain and grasp from your music?
That it's okay. When I create music, man, I start creating music because I start thinking about, you know, what type of situation are we in today? What type of condition are we in today? And then that gives me the motive to go along and make a song. I use my songs for solutions, put it that way. I create songs as a solution. I know that music is very damaging today, and people are justifying damaging music. So I don't want to be that one. I want to be the one that say, when somebody makes my music, once I finish creating it, they say, wow, that made me feel good. Not, oh, he was talking crazy, not all the stuff that I can do, you know, but feel good. I create the solution, and that helps me create the message as well. When I create the message, it's like, okay, today I understand there's a problem with people understanding consciousness. I got the ability to make people understand that through music, so why not do it? And then I write about it. You know, I'm able to write about it, man. So I write according to the problems and solutions in life. That's how I create my music. You know, I don't really have a lot of different artists that I might listen to for the inspiration. It's more that my inspiration is what's happening in the world right now, you know, what we deal with on an everyday base.
Okay, okay. I feel that, and I definitely respect you for that. Real quickly, so you briefly mentioned your son just a few moments ago. You know, having a son
Yeah.
and being a father, you know, not only a father but a black father at that, you know, and teaching him the principles and the morals of life, and you know, him seeing, you know, everything that's taking place. As far, how are you as a father and as a man teaching him the ways through life, and how are you helping him to navigate through life so that way he won't make certain choices and decisions that could mess him up later on down the line?
Oh, okay. So when it comes to my son, man, I understand that the child represents understanding. And when I deal with my son, I have to have the mindset. I have to have the understanding mindset. So I teach him that uh, if there's no fear, then there's no problem. I teach him that the only limit is himself. He has no limit outside of himself. He creates the limit for himself. And what people do or say to him is not for him to take personally. It's something that he has to work on within himself. I teach him the knowledge of self so that when he step out into the world, he don't get entangled with forces that don't match his. You know, I teach him that in order for him to have great people around him, he has to be a great kid. You know what I mean? He has to have a great man. He has to be willing to speak well, and he has to eat well. I teach him the main foundation: eat well, think well, talk well, treat people like you treat yourself,
Right.
and don't go looking for love. Become the love. I tell him to become these things. When even if I feel like he don't understand what I might be saying, I might say, listen, when you say I love you, understand that you are the love. I got you. That mean I got love.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then he uses this. It just start popping up in his program, because I understand when I was a youth, man. Like I said, our parents did the best they could to the best of their ability. I found out things that went wrong. I found out that it was my parents and relatives and friends that taught me how to gossip. So I keep that away from him.
Right.
You know what I mean? I let him know that this exists, but don't do that.
Right.
You know, I just teach him the things that we learned, that we found out as we grew through our domestication. So I choose not to domesticate my son in a negative way. I choose to let him grow into his true self, and let him know how to think instead of what to think. You know, I teach him how to think instead of what to think. You know.
Okay. Okay. And I definitely
Teach him that he's more than black. You know, my son is born. He's born better. He was born in a better position than me, because I was born as a black person, and my son is born as a Moorish American. So he's born with a nationality. I was born without a nationality.
okay.
You know.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And I definitely, you know, say to you, man, I salute you, man, on being that role model, that instrument in your son's life to show him what it's like, you know, what this world is like, you know, and showing him that, you know, daddy not going nowhere. So that which leads me to my next point, you know, him, you know, having a mind of his own. Do you possibly see him, you know, uh taking your, you know, traveling in your footsteps, or do you want him to have his own path?
Yeah. See, I would like for my son Amir. Amir is his name. I'd like for Amir to come into his own. However, if he admires his dad because he respects what I do, like one thing he loves is that I box. I ain't want him to be a boxer, but he likes to box. So if he takes on love onto it, I'm a hone in on that. You know, I'm a sharpen that blade for him. But if he say, Dad, I don't want to do this, you know, I want to do this, I want to be that, then all my effort and focus is gonna go into that, you know. I'm not gonna say, man, you need to be blah, 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 unless it's something negative or something that's gonna damage him in his process of growth. And I'm not with that. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I definitely feel you on that. All right, so once again, switching gears, man. You know, we all have with this whole, you know, situation, man. And I definitely wanted to get your thoughts on this because, you know, you have a lot of insight, you know, and a lot of knowledge to share and to give, man. What is your take, man, on this whole pandemic and COVID situation? Because, you know, we all have formed our own opinions and assumptions and things that, you know, we feel isn't, you know, necessarily correct or politically correct. How do you feel about this whole process?
So this is how I feel, man, and a lot of people might not have never heard it this way. However, this whole thing that's going on right now is what happens, especially like this pandemic, is what happens when the principle of care is out the picture. Because things go haywire. I put it like this. If I say, bro, and if you don't know, just say you don't know. If I say, hey, bro, where's your immune system? Well, do you know where your immune system is?
I don't know.
Right. This is what I'm saying, right? But your immune system is in your blood.
Right.
Right? Majority of your blood is in your gut, your stomach, right?
Right.
That's your digestive system, right?
Right.
So if the majority of your blood is in your digestive system, your gut, and your immune system is in your blood, then why don't a person care enough to change their eating pattern so that they can eat for energy and to live instead to eat and die?
Right. Right.
Because if your immune system is weak, if the stuff that you eat is damaging your immune system, and now there's a pandemic, you don't have enough nutrition or minerals in your body naturally to fight what's happening.
Right.
And this going to be done on purpose. It's going to continue to happen until people realize or recognize that they have to make changes within their self. There's no answer outside of ourself. The answer is within ourselves, and it's in the earth. If we get in tune with that and realize this life that we've been seeing, this nature that we've been seeing has always held the answers, but we chose to look elsewhere. So we got to deal with these type of problems. Right. And it's an agenda to do this.
Right.
There's an agenda to make us think this way.
I agree. Now let me ask you this. Now, do you as a man, do you believe in the theories? Because again, there are so many theories that's plastered all over America. You know, we're as you know, we always got things going wrong. Do you believe in those theories?
That say that one more time. That there's things going wrong.
Yeah, as far as theory wise and theory, feel like theories are all man-made, or do you feel like these are just things that the government and the world and society are trying to force upon us?
I'm gonna say this, right? When it comes down to the theories and how the system works, or what the system is doing, and people creating these theories, this has been happening for years and years before we was even here.
Right.
This has been going on before we was even here. So one of the main things is that if you know, this is just for critical thinking, without me using what I'm tied to or what anybody else tied to. If you know that a person or a group of people have continuously lied to you about even the smallest thing, right? Why would you continue to take what they say as urgent and not focus on a solution?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not fact check what they're saying? If somebody come to you and say, hey man, like I said today, the old world is the Americas, right? I say, yo, the old world is the Americas. Now, if I say that, if somebody just take my word for it, that's on them. But I'm confident in myself enough to know that they will have, they will find this information and see for themselves. However, if they don't, that's on them.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
If they don't, it's on them. And my thing is, where we're at and the people that we're dealing with is not good people. It's just not good people. And the only thing that I can tell, if there is a saving power, it would be to go within yourself and get in tune with nature, get in tune with your inner self, and you will stay away from the ways of the world, because the ways of the world is what's going to be the end all.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be our destruction.
Right. I agree. And I will say this, man, because, and this is one of the reasons why I'm finally glad I'm talking to this. you know, it's like this person goes, you never really know what's going on until you really talk to somebody like such as yourself that really has the fortitude and the insight on the from the outside looking in, knowing, you know, out about certain situations and certain and so,
Right.
so let me ask you this, man, kind of switching gears, man. So when you made up in your mind that this was the life for you and that this was something you used going for a long time, did it ever occur to you, or did you ever think like, yo, like I know that my information and my knowledge and my wisdom could really change people's mindset or their perception on how that you know that you was gonna put out there, and you just, as we like to use the term, with cross fingers hoping that he would grasp the concept.
Right. Okay. So one second, I'm finishing this up, man. We about to get real busy to it right quick. We about to get real busy because I like that question, man. But Amir, here. All right. Go eat your food, all right? All right. Okay, so when I came into this knowledge, bro, I'm about to set it up. Once again, peace everybody. Bro, when I came into this knowledge, man, I knew that the first thing I knew was that everybody is not gonna get it.
Right.
And I realized that it's not for everybody. But it is for everybody, you know?
Right.
But I did know that anybody who had the eyes to perceive and the ears to hear, that if they got a hold to this information or just did some fact checking, did some diligent research, they will find that this knowledge is not just to have, it's to be applied, and it's a life-changing knowledge. And it don't matter what level in life that you think you're at, whether you think you poor, whether you think you rich, whatever it is. This knowledge, everybody has this knowledge within themselves.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So I knew it would change lives, man.
Okay. So now, let me ask you this. Speaking on social media, man, you know, social media being a global worldwide phenomenon, and everybody in the world is all over social media.
Hurry up, Emil.
How do you feel about social media as a whole? Do you feel like social media is a good thing, or do you feel like sometimes it can be a bad thing, or do you feel like it's both?
It's definitely a double-edged sword. You know, it's just like the internet in general.
Right.
I like it because I get to connect with so many versions of myself, so many reflections of myself, that I ain't got to go looking, trying to figure out who is like me or who understands where I'm coming from or who's vibrating where I vibrate at. I can get right on top of this. I can get right online and connect with my people. Now, the thing is, everybody has access to this. Mm-hmm. And that creates an imbalance in society. Because what's going to happen is, well, if you know that jealousy and greed, attention, toxic traits, envy, all these things, if you know they exist and they exist within people, and you give these people access to this social media or internet too, then guess how they gonna use it? They gonna use it according to their lower nature.
Okay.
And let's say, for instance, somebody don't have control of their mind, then once they go and see other people online with their jealous and envy mind, well, see, they already beat themselves up mentally. So once they see that, they like, man, I ain't got this, man, I ain't got that, or man, these people said that you got to do this and you got to be that. They no longer have to know how to think. They just need to know what to think.
Right.
That's why I was saying about my son. This right here it's a double-edged sword, because it can teach you what to think, but not how to think.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that becomes damaging to people.
Right.
It becomes damaging to people that's already, if somebody didn't know how to think from the beginning and then they get online and have a whole life, you'll crush their whole reality with necessary knowledge or proper education.
Right.
You know, so it's a double-edged sword, man.
Wow, most definitely. Now let me ask you this, because this is something else that I just recently thought about. Now, do you believe that there have been people out here in this world, in society, in America, that have been mentally programmed and brainwashed to believe things that shouldn't even be true. Do you believe in that?
Yeah, definitely. This is exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened. But what don't be said is that this happened first in your own home. The domestication started at your own house. Majority of the people that, let's say, for instance, just gossip today, the majority of people that gossip or do toxic things today, it was in their household first. You know?
Right.
And that's a part of programming. That's a part of domesticating people, just like a dog. You get a dog, you domesticate that dog to think and believe and everything according to your law, the way you got it set up.
Right.
Same thing with a child. You know? So the programming is so real that I put it like this. If you don't want to think for yourself, if you don't want to figure out how to think, then society and the people who run these seats that we call elites, they will do it for you. They will make the decisions for you. They will set the life up for you because you're not interested in doing it for yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's definitely real. And as a people, we've definitely been programmed to believe that there's a little bit of hope that we can have in this system or this government that we have.
Right.
We believe that we're going to get some type of help. We really believe that they're helping us.
Right. Right.
You know, but these is the same people that told you that you was from somewhere that you was never from.
Right.
These are the same ones that raped your grandparents, raped your mother, told them that who they was, which was a lie.
Right.
So the programming is very real. It's people right now who say, if I tell them to eat better, they say, man, I got to die from something. That's how poor the thinking is.
Right. Wow, man. Wow. So let me ask you this, man, because I told y'all it was gonna get deep, y'all. I told y'all I had the man coming through. He gonna be dropping knowledge. So I told y'all, I hope y'all writing this shit down, man. Because listen, this is pure knowledge right here. So let me ask you this, man, because there again, we also have people out here in the world that deal with, that deal with the mental aspect of things, that being, depression, that being anxiety, that being, abandonment, that being, divorce and rape and, sex trafficking. I mean, that's all, it's a history of things. But specifically, I want to target depression and anxiety for a lot of people that's been dealing with that and trying to find a way out, trying to find the answers, trying to find a solution, as you once said. What do you say to somebody, or what do you tell to somebody who feels like they've done everything they know to do right, and they're still not getting to where they need to be, which is to the other side of, reaching the pinnacle of success or where they need to be? What is your thought process? What is your take on that for people that are dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, dealing with suicides and things of that nature?
Okay. One, it's a few things, right?
Right.
But one is to understand that change is beautiful, right? A lot of anxiety is something that's just passed down, or it's something that we've absorbed as we travel through our own journey. But two is, if I told you that there's no meaning to this life outside of yourself, there's no meaning to this life outside of yourself. You are the observer, you're the character, you're the victim, and you're the judge. If I told you that just being and thinking as a righteous person could change your entire reality forever, how you feel, how you think, and third, I would say care, and I'll sum it all up. Right?
Right.
All the things that people go through every day for a person that has anxiety, right?
Right.
They just feel like they're just so crazy. It's been so much crazy stuff that happened in your life. Yet at this very moment, you are able to say that you all right, your body is intact, and you got a chance to create a change. One of the first changes for a person that deals with have this type of thing is to check how they view life. How do you see life? Some people look at life and be like, man, life ain't nah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, guess what? That's what your life about to be. Because your life is going to reflect what you know. Your life is your reality is a reflection of you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you out here in this world and you see how much stuff is going on that can distort who you are, that can distort messages, the only thing that we fail to do is actually, like a lot of people say, know yourself. Go put it in the sink, son. A lot of people say, know yourself. They don't tell people how, what that means to actually know yourself, to actually get in tune with yourself. But this means that you have to clean and wipe everything clear. Right. You got to clear everything. What you was taught, what you think is right, what you think is wrong. You got to get it to the point where you sitting there naked in emptiness.
Talk to us, brother.
You got to be there. You got to be there naked, bro, in emptiness. To the point where, okay, the moment that something appears in front of your eyes, you're able to see it clearly.
Right.
You start to act as the observer, as the judge. You start to say, okay, me being in this place, me being in this situation, is it suiting my growth? Is it benefiting my growth? Is it playing a part of my growth? If the answer is no, it is unnecessary. It's not necessary to be in your life. If a person gives you anxiety, your body is letting you know that this person should not be in your circumference. It should not be around you, because they're going to distort your frequency, which will distort how you think. And knowing that is that remembering that your thoughts create reality.
Right.
So of course it's going to give you anxiety. You know what I mean? Of course that's going to give you anxiety. But when you understand that you are enough, that as a human being, you are enough, and there is nothing outside of yourself that'll save you quicker than you.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna need you to say that one more time for the people that missed that. I'm gonna need you to say that one more time.
Yeah, man. There's nothing outside of yourself that will save you quicker than you. Most people talk about they like to say God, or they like to say Allah, they like to say the Most High. This pure consciousness, this life force has many names. But what I'm saying is the closest place to it is your heart. So that means you got to go within yourself and get in tune with that.
Most definitely.
You can't look for peace. You got to become peace. You can't look for love. You got to become love. You can't go looking for hate. You're going to become hate. Right. If hate is around you, if anxiety is around you, you have become anxiety itself. Wow. That means there's no peace within yourself. There's no peace within your mind. There's clutteredness. There's crowdedness. There's distortion and chaos. It's the truth in reverse. But if I told you, hey man, everything is you. If I say everything is you, the tree, the bird, the water, everything.
Right.
Everything. You will probably respect it a person will probably respect it a little bit more if they knew that.
Right. Wow.
But see, a lot of us are ego-based, and that alone creates anxiety, because a person that's ego-based, they dealing with their false sense of self. Well, see, they don't want nobody to challenge them. They scared to be wrong. Mm-hmm. They scared somebody is going to judge them. Mm-hmm. They got too many things to fear. And fear blocks your spiritual growth. Right. And you were born a spiritual being.
Right.
No.
Most definitely, man. This is what I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all, boy, listen, man. I'm right now. When I say I am truly learning some shit, bro. Like, definitely, I'm learning some shit. So let me ask you this, man. So, when it comes to the younger talent of today, and I'm speaking of talent that is coming up through the ranks through this music industry, man, what do you feel are the key things that any man, woman, or child who desires to be an artist, who desires to be in music, what are the main key things that they need to succeed for one, and then for two, to know for themselves that they're not just doing this just to be doing it, but they're doing it because they know that this is truly where they feel that they know that they can totally reach the world and change the world.
Okay. Now, for myself, I would say you got to have some type of knowledge of self. You got to have some type of knowledge of your own being, your own being. But when it comes into that, you want to have self-discipline. You're going to need self-discipline. You're going to need a lot of ambition. You're going to have to be self-motivated to the point where even if nobody is around, you're so motivated that you're able to push through anything. Even though it might be easier with 2 or 3 more people, the fact that you got enough ambition to drive yourself through the wall is enough. You got to have tough skin, because a lot of people are going to tell you no. A lot of people going to say that you ain't good. A lot of people going to say that, you know, if you did this, you would be a little bit better. And if it's the truth, take it. If it resonates with your life, then take it as a youngin. And however, you got to be aware of what you're putting out.
Right.
When it comes to the fun part, you got to be aware of what you're putting out. Because I said there's a lack of care. That's the generative principle. That's the lost principle. It's the lack of care. So if you have all these things, but you lack care, it's going to crumble. Because your content is not going to add up to growth for a nation, for a community. It's just going to be personal. Wow. You know? So for the youth that want to do music and get into music, I say, man, have you some self-discipline, get you some ambition, enough ambition, get you enough self-motivation to the point where you don't need nobody to motivate you. You just wake up feeling motivated, and you look for motivation when you see other people. And then from there, you got to have some care. You got to care about all of these things, because if you don't, then you're gonna be putting out all. It may be good, it may sound good, but you're gonna be putting out careless music, and it ain't gonna last for years.
Right.
You know.
So and again, you know, I am totally grateful, man, and appreciative for you speaking on these topics, man, because these are things that like I told you when I first talked to you, that these are things that people need to know and be opened up to. I gotta ask this question, man, because so many people, you know, I feel like they fail to realize this, but why is there so much division in music, or why does there feel like there has to be a need to recite things that may not even necessarily be, or may have been within your path? Why is that?
The ego.
Okay.
Tell you something that I know about man, right? Man, us as a spirit man or a human, is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. We got a higher self and we got a lower self. We got a higher nature and we got a lower nature. Now, when we in this lower nature, which a lot of us have experienced or still going through today, when we in that nature, man, we don't want to see nobody doing better. Like, we like the thought of it, but we don't actually want to see them doing better, because they might do better than we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's because you don't look at them as a version of yourself. You don't look at them as another version of you. Then you see the opportunity to do better, but see, it seems a little, we've been programmed, and the way we've been programmed, we think this type of stuff is corny. We think that this is boring. You know what I mean? We gotta be doing the same thing such and such and them is doing.
Right.
We gotta be doing the same thing them and them are doing, and that's how they think. Your vibe attracts your tribe. If you believe that, you're gonna have a group of people. You have a lot of people that think that way with you. You know?
Right.
But the reason why people do it is because they have ego-based energy, man. Right. They only understand. They only can perceive as far as they understand, and a lot of us have low understanding. And it shows in every aspect, whether it's at work. I put it like this. When somebody's at work, when somebody's at church, when somebody's at a sports bar, when somebody's at a festival, they always a different person.
Right.
Why? What's wrong? What's wrong with being yourself 24/7?
Right.
Oh, cause somebody gonna talk about you? Cause somebody gonna judge you? Cause somebody gonna say you weird?
Right.
Cause that's what you gotta deal with the lower nature, man.
Right. Right.
That's what we gotta deal with the lower nature. And people don't want dealing with your higher self it comes with responsibility. And we hate responsibility.
That we think, yeah, that we do.
We hate responsibility, we hate accountability. But I would rather be in a situation where somebody is holding me accountable to do what I'm supposed to do. Because if not, how am I going to do what I'm supposed to do? I'm going to end up doing something outside of myself. I'm going to end up hating my own brother. I'm going to end up shooting and fighting my own sisters and brothers. It's the lack of care. That's the main thing that's damaging almost everything that's happening right now. It's the lack of care. You know how much better this world would be, bro, if people cared?
Right.
We'll say, hey, Jay, we'll say something like this, man. We'll say, man, the earth is going down. They'll have the words and everything, the terminology. They say, man, the earth is dying out, man.
Right.
There's earthquakes and diseases. But if you really cared, you would be a part of the solution.
Exactly.
If you was able to, you would be a part of the solution. You know what I mean? If you say, hey man, that sister been going through some hard stuff, she ain't got no people, she ain't got nobody to run to. You don't want to just sit there and be like, dang, because that's a different version of you. What if it was you?
Right.
You would want somebody to say, hey man, you know what? I came up with this could help you. And now when you done presented that, it's not from the ego, you thinking about somebody else. Now they got the choice to whether take it or not. And you got the choice to be entangled with it or not.
Wow. Wow.
You know?
Wow. Man. See, man, listen. I don't listen. I'm telling y'all, for those of y'all that are in the chat, we definitely want to say thank y'all for tuning in and tapping in with us for real. Because like I said, this conversation, as y'all can see, is getting deeper by the minute. So I gotta ask you this, man, because as an individual, as a human being,
right,
and in your expertise, should I say, do you see anything that we've been dealing with for the past, I want to say 2 years now? Do you see any of this changing at all, or do you feel like this is still that we're going to have to continue to deal with until we as ourselves can do better for ourselves to make it better?
I'll say this, what's happening is only going to get worse until we learn how to love instead of hate. We praise hate. Once we learn to love instead of hate and understand that care is the result of love, and love is nothing but acceptance, appreciation, and understanding, then it's not going to be any change until we start to care, until we start to actually want to see a change and believe that a change is possible. This is why Gil Scott-Heron said the revolution won't be televised, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said that because it's mental.
Right.
It's in the head. So if you can't change this and add some care, if your brother can't add some care, it ain't gonna be no change.
Right.
And that's why I say, if you can't change somebody, if you change one person, you made the world better than what it was. However, if can't nobody else do it at least for yourself. And the world that be changed, it'll be a different world than the world that you knew. Just because you did something different.
Wow. That's deep. Wow.
No.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So whenever you, and again, I'm piggybacking again, going back into the music for a second, whenever you have had the ability to be on any stage, be at any and perform, what is usually the reaction that you get after you perform a song or you do a song? like, what is the reaction like from the true, genuine supporters that truly support, and even for the people that may be on the side still listening to you? Like, what is usually the response that you get?
Man, I'm thankful for what I'm about to say. Man, I've had people. I remember before I even put out music, one thing about me, man, is that I'm not entangled. I know these artists, and I got love for all my artists out here. However, I feel that we have different purposes. You know, we do music for a very different reason. You know, the common ground is that we do music,
right,
but the purpose is totally different. And for me, man, I was perform as an artist. I'd have had majority of these artists that's in Durham, North Carolina. I've had them perform at my shows, right? But I'm an artist. My whole thing is me getting people together. Me getting people together is more important. And I've had people tell me things like, hey, yo, I was at Skewers for 5 years creating an open mic. I had people say, man, I only come here because I know you're going to be here and I know I'll be able to enjoy myself. I've had people say, hey, man, I moved back home so I can see you every week. Whether they telling me the truth or not, it's not for me to take personally, but this is what they saying to me. It's people that say, man, every time you get on stage, man, it's like you leave your whole damn soul on the stage. I had a man tell me that. I had an older woman tell me that I learned something from you every time I hear one of your songs. And then they asked me, where can I find your music? This was before I even put out my music, man. And I've been doing music longer than half of the people that I know.
Right.
You know? But it was these things that kept me going, man. I've had people tell me too many beautiful things for me not to keep going just by the tool of music. You know, kids, man. My son and his friends, they just sang my songs and just dance to it, man. And what I'm saying in the songs it's not even negative, man. Right. It's stuff that they can say as a youngin' and when they get older.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can say, I'm just here to party. You know, we ain't here for long. You know, they can say things. They can say, what's my other part that my son be saying? I'm only in the party to spread some positivity. I know you get it hardly because you're used to negativity.
Okay.
They can say these things. You know what I mean? And I got great responses from it, man, because I don't tear away from myself, and it proves my purpose right. Because as if I'm saying that my purpose is to show people that it's better than feel good. It's better to listen to something that make you feel good rather than something that makes you think negatively or make you act negatively and then justify these negative things, man. People ain't gonna tell you you're not gonna hear nothing good. You're gonna hear, oh man, you dope. You're gonna hear, man, that shit was crazy. But you ain't gonna hear, man, it changed my life. Man, you make me want to do a little bit better, man. Or somebody that rap come up to me and say, hey man, I rap and do music, man, but hey man, you do real music. I don't know what that means because I'm not that type of person.
Right.
However, whatever they saying is my content. I know what they mean. My content and what I choose to make a song about. I'm trying to make a song that if I passed away, somebody found it, they find it 30 years later and be like, man, did you hear the stuff that brother was talking about? You know what I mean? Like that song, Everyday People, that I am everyday people. I play that every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's because of how powerful it was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If I seen them, I get the same vibe because they live that. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So my last two questions for you, man, because I told you, man, listen, it's a lot more that I can ask you, man. But my last two questions, we got to get up out of here because there will be a part two. So you guys stay tuned for part two.
Definitely.
All right. So my final two questions, man, is when it's all said and done, when Prince Devon decides to hang it all up, as they say, what's next? What can we expect next from Prince Devon?
They can expect a leader. They can expect a righteous leader, because that's my end goal, is to be a leader for a nation and not just for a specific group. I plan this right here is just a tool. My music is just a tool for my greater purpose, you know, and that's why you may not see me at everybody's show, but you might have people that want to have me at their show, you know. So, you know, and I don't need a lot of buzz to do it, man. I did more performing than making music, you know what I mean? but this is a tool for me to be a nation leader, because we don't have that. We don't have a righteous leader, and I'm fearless when it comes to this. I'm fearless. I'm not scared to stand in front of an oppressor. I'm not scared of the knowledge that I have, because I know that it's true, and I know that I know how to defend it. So whenever you hear, hey, Prince Devon hanging it up, just know that the next door is open, and it's time. It's go time. It's go time now. However, I use this music as a tool to get people in my age bracket and younger and older, if possible, to understand that there's something happening, man. It's a reason behind this man's steps, and it's because we in a fallen state. And my thing is to uplift the fallen humanity. That ain't for everybody. I understand. It's just not for everybody. But I'm a leader first. I'm a foundational leader first. You know, more than anything, I follow divine principles. And if we all divine beings, who gonna stand up for us? And if I can't get no answer for it, it got to be me. You know what I mean? And if somebody else, hopefully somebody else say the same thing and say, you know what? I'm a leader too. Not I'm the leader. I'm a leader for the nation, man. You know what I mean? And it's just that for the new age, man. That's what's gonna happen when I hang this music up.
Most definitely, most definitely. And last, certainly not least, what is your hope and desire for this year, as I like to call it, 2K22? What is the main desire for everybody for 2K22? What is your desire? What is your message that you want to put out here right now while we're still live out here to the people for 2K22?
Hey, listen, man. For 2022, I would tell people this, man. This is a time for standing and not a time for bowing down. This is a time for care, not love, care. Love is what we can deal with, acceptance, appreciation, understanding. But with this year right here, if we can learn to care, learn to love instead of hate, this year would change in an instant. The reality that we know will change in an instant. All it takes is that we care. And I know there's a lot of groups of people that don't that's into helping the communities, but I'm gonna speak on one in specific, man, and that's the Morris Science Temple of America. If you can go and sit in and talk to one and just hear what brothers is talking about, become a part of that work. You ain't got to join, become a part of that work in making this place more suitable for people that look like you and I. And that happens with care. All I ask is for people to learn to care. Stop downgrading your brothers and sisters, because they are nothing but a different version of you, vibrating on a different frequency. Love them, care about them. I don't care if they get on your last nerves. That is your brother by natural state. By natural, spiritually, that is your brother. That is your sister. So care. When it comes to yourself, listen, don't give nobody the power to upset you. If anybody gonna upset you, let it be you, so you can hold yourself accountable. You know, and that's my thing, man. Just care. Carry out this year with care. Care about yourself. Understand that there's more to know outside of your circumference of knowledge. There's more to this life to know. And like I said earlier, there's no meaning to this life outside of yourself. When you're looking for God, you got to go within. If you're looking for Allah, you got to go within. If you're looking for the devil, you got to go look within. And its name is self.
I like that.
Its name is self, man. So have care, you know, have care and strive towards greater goals, man, because it's possible.
That part. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my time. I am the one and true and living legend, Honcho J23 of Independent Scene Podcast. Huge shout out to my man, Prince Devon, for coming through, chopping it up with us right here on Independent Scene Podcast Special Edition. We want to thank you guys for joining in and tuning in. We hope that you learned a lot. We hope that you guys took a lot of notes from this and be able to apply it to your lives. You know, we will be having a part 2. Y'all stay tuned for that. And real quickly, before we wrap this up, where can the people follow and tap in with you at, bro?
So y'all can follow me at Prince underscore Devon 7. Um, you can find me on my music online. I got it scattered. Just look up Prince Devon. You'll see my face on majority of the music. And check out my new video, Lil Yeah, man, by the Prince Devon on YouTube. Check it out. And yeah, once again, Prince underscore Devon 7, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to seeing you guys next time on another edition of Independent Scene Podcast. And always remember to choose your destiny, but choose it wisely. And with that being,
Come on.
yeah, guys.
Peace.
Peace.